Hey FPC Youth, it's Miss Arisha here. I am here with another youth devotional for you. And we have been talking about being rooted in God. And let me tell you, this series has really helped me. I hope it's helping you too, but it's really helped me to just understand prayer life, increasing my faith. It's just, I could go on and on. So I hope it's doing the same for you. We talked about being rooted in God through acknowledging Him. We talked about being rooted in God through communication with God. We've talked about being rooted in God in His Word. Today, I want to talk about being rooted in God through fellowship. We know about fellowship. We have fellowship every Sunday after church, coffee hour. That's a time to fellowship. So our fellowship with God, fellowship with Christ, fellowship with like-minded people, other believers. That fellowship is important in staying rooted in God. So here in 1 John chapter 1, verses 3 through 6, okay, in this first chapter, fellowship is all throughout this chapter. So I'm going to read just a little bit of it, but read on and you'll see fellowship is something that is important and that we as believers should focus on and be aware of. 1 John chapter 1, verses 3 through 6. We declare to you what we have seen and heard, so that you also may have fellowship with us. And truly our fellowship is with the Father and with His Son, Jesus Christ. We are writing these things so that our joy may be complete. This is the message we have heard from Him and proclaimed to you, that God is light and in Him there is no darkness at all. If we say that we have fellowship with Him while we are walking in darkness, we lie and do not do what is true. So it is important for us to have fellowship with Christ and fellowship with other believers, because in that fellowship we learn that Jesus is the light. We can walk in that light as through the fellowship of others and through believing in Jesus and following His commands. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 14 through 17. Do not be mismatched with unbelievers. For what partnership is there between righteousness and lawlessness? Or what fellowship is there between light and darkness? What agreement does Christ have with Beliar? Or what does a believer share with an unbeliever? What agreement has the temple of God with idols? For we are the temple of the living God. As God said, I will live in them and walk among them, and I will be their God, and they will be my people. Therefore, come out from them and be separate from them, says the Lord, and touch nothing unclean. Then I will welcome you. So we won't be mismatched or unequally yoked as long as our fellowship is in Jesus, in God, fellowship with other believers and those who truly follow His word, who truly believe that this is the truth. It is the truth for us as believers. I'm glad that we as believers are connected to each other and that we can strengthen each other in our fellowship and strengthen each other in our faith, and to have that connection. Truly continue to be rooted in God.